Yes, and we're in Dorset again. It's the second week of the Olympics, and we're on top of a hill, rather blustery, in search of the mysterious deserted village of Tyneham.
Behind me is the majestic Walborough Bay.
I'd like it placed on record that I've climbed this hill. I'm very unfit and not built to climb hills, and this is a major hill. Thank you, Geoffrey.
Well, we're actually now on one of the British Army firing ranges in Dorset.
Yes, the British Army's firing range. And just behind me, you can see a target. Now, at certain times of the year, the Army very kindly allow us to walk on certain paths down to the village of Tyneham. More about that later. Now, if we were walking on here when we shouldn't, like when they're using the firing range, we'd be blown to dust in a matter of seconds.
Down behind me there is the old village of Tyneham. As you see by this sign, you've got to be very careful because inside there's a lot of dead bunnies and voles.
Hey, here we are, still on the Army range, and we're keeping between these yellow markers, one here, one over there. Now, stay between the yellow markers, no problem, happiness, lovely day out with the family. Go over the yellow markers and boom! Simple. Deserted village of Tyneham. In November 1943, everyone in this village, over 200 people, were shipped out and they never came back. All in the war effort for World War II. This house was lived in by the Gould family. And they were just a number of people who were just shipped out. And they've never come back. And it's left derelict. We're going to explore it right now. That's quite a substantial house, Jeff.
Yeah, very well built in the old Purbeck stone.
Yeah, lovely. So Mr. Gould must have been quite an important person in Tyneham.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't mind living in that house. Not as it is now though. Need a roof.
Sturdy little house.
Yeah, and a bathroom. And I'd need to put a bathroom in there, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you have to go in the ferns.
Where would I wash my hair?
Yes, yes. Watch out for the voles and bunnies. Now look, this little cottage here, tiny little cottage, bear in mind, it has 2 floors. And look how small those floors are. And quite people probably brought up 8 children in this. Life was tough in those days, but they were sturdy British stock and they survived.
Right, here we are now at the church, so we're just going to have a go and have a look inside.
Fantastic, Joe. Beautiful church. The church, as you can see, is absolutely pristine in every way. We're going to explore it, and bear in mind that this church has not actually been used for a service by villagers since 1943. We're now going to go down here into the schoolhouse where all the children were taught their lessons when the village was a living entity. So come on, let's go and have a look. Scott Minor, pay attention.
Yes, sir.
Right, you boys pay attention. This is 1943. None of this mamby-pamby 2012 stuff. If you're naughty, you'll get jolly well thrashed. And that includes you, Scott Minor. Right, 2 + 2 is...
4.
Excellent, Scott Minor. Now, there'll be no lunch. What a glorious spot, Joe.
Fantastic. Yeah.
House in the village, that's all that's left of it. But if you want a home with a view, this was it. Well, that was the deserted village of Tyneham. Well worth a visit. You can only come here at certain times. The village is open every day in end of July to September. And then at weekends it's generally open. Well worth a visit, just to walk around and imagine what it must have been like to be shipped out of here at a moment's notice. Great walk, great day. See you again.